All right. Welcome, everybody, to Clumsy Clairvoyance. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are not new here, welcome back. There are 14 people in the chat. Please make sure you do hit the like and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Okay, so this is our weekend class. Normally, this is tarot topics, but this is tarot adjacent, okay, in my opinion. We have been doing a kind of like a special or special class, what have you, astrology 101 or basics of astrology. And we have it broke down into 3 classes over 3 different weekends. So last weekend we covered the 12 signs of the zodiac. And if you haven't seen it, it is in a playlist. Okay. I did make a playlist especially for these classes. So you can go back and watch the replay. And if you didn't see it, that is okay. You don't have to have seen it to join in for this live class. So, having said that, you guys, I'm so excited. Today we're covering the 12 houses in astrology or of astrology, okay? This is going to be exciting. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm going to hop back in the chat, say hello to everybody. Real quick, y'all, let me know if I'm sharing screen okay. I know that I am sharing it kind of smaller right now, but just let me know it's working. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to grab my drink. I was extra thirsty. Okay, so real quick, I did address this with Kay Brazy already about the Y12. And in the presentation today, keep that question in mind. Y12 zodiac signs, Y12 houses, right? And right before we get into each one individually, this will kind of be answered. So, in my opinion. Hold on. A cyclone. Is that bad? I never watched that stuff. Thank you, Rose. You're such a lovey. She's purty. You're so sweet. All right. So it looks like I am sharing efficiently, effectively. Really quickly, I did want to ask everybody who has heard of, just by a raise of hands, or you could say yes or no in the chat, who has heard of the 12 houses of astrology? At least heard of them. Just a yes or no, or raise your hand, or thumbs up, or thumbs down, either way. Okay, Braze says yesterday. Okay, fair enough. No. No, okay. Um, Clumsy needs to watch more nerd stuff. Guilty. Yay, my first apple. Lady Autumn Sky, A plus plus. She's already winning. Not that it's a competition. But I've been waiting for my apple. Thank you, Lovey. I mean, oh shoot. Oh shoot, that's what I meant you to. Hold please. There we go. I unplugged the wrong thing. Boomer moment. Lady Autumn Sky, so good to see you. So good to see you. And yes, anytime you see any of the mods dropping links, I do encourage y'all to sub up to one another. So I know Lady Autumn Sky has. Anyone else? Have you guys at least heard of the 12 houses in astrology or reference to them? You don't have to know anything. I'm just curious how many people have heard about it or heard of it and who hasn't. So just the dawning of the age Aquarius song is my extent of knowledge. Why did they talk about the houses in astrology there? Okay, so I'm gonna make me smaller now. I was kind of holding off. I want freaking Moose to be here. He was driving home, but the show must go on. He can always watch replay. He'll be in here eventually, but I don't want him to miss the good stuff. All the good stuff is throughout the whole thing, but still. All right, so if everyone's ready to rock and roll, give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna make myself smaller. This is going to be bigger. Let me know if I'm sharing still okay. And if you guys can see, if everything is good. Clumsy, since I mentioned Battlestar Galactica earlier, their 12 colonies were based on the zodiac. The planets had names like Caprique, Sagittone, and Virgon. Very intriguing. Oh yeah, Kate Brazy's gonna serve us dinner. Nice. I'm cooking right now. I literally just tried to give you a thumbs up. Like you can see me. Aw, how cute. Okay, lots of thumbs up, so we're good to go. Now, those of you that happened to be here last week or watched the replay, we did the 12 signs of the zodiac, right? And if y'all remember, if you don't, that's okay. Oh yeah, by the way, let me say this real quick. If y'all are note takers like me, I love taking notes. I have so many freaking different like notebooks and journals, just notes and notes and notes on so much different stuff. But if you are a note taker, please feel free to take notes. So I put that out there. That way, if any of my note takers want to take notes, know that go ahead, have at it. But what I wanted to say is reference last week just for a moment. Now, we did cover the 12 signs of the zodiac. And if you remember, well, I'm going to ask you to remember, or if you may remember, we went over each sign and each one covered a different degrees, right? So this was 360 degrees around the earth, and each one had its own constellation. Okay. Now, it was almost like a wheel, or it was a wheel. Okay. First 30 degrees, and then 30 to 60 degrees, 60 to 90. So, for instance, the first 30 degrees was the first sign of the zodiac, which was Aries. And then we had the next was 30 to 60 degrees. That was Taurus. And then 60 to 90 degrees, that was Gemini. And then on and on and on. But it made it did make a wheel, so to speak. And we're going to be looking at almost pretty much an identical wheel, but this is for the houses. Okay. So keep in mind, think of it as two different wheels, but they're still they're the same circumference, etc. And we'll get into it more in a second. But I did just want to reference that because we're going to be going over, when we get to each house individually, you're actually going to see a connection between each house and each zodiac sign. And as we get further and further into the class, you're going to see how everything connects in astrology. They're all interconnected. So, get off my ranting or talking for a second, see what y'all are saying in chat. Fajitas, yummo. That sounds so bomb. Bomb.com. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And we're going to have a little bit of animations going on during the presentation. Thanks to Moose, of course, but that'll be fun. It'll give you guys a really good view of, it'll give you an actual look at how these things are divided up. Okay. Whoop whoop. Pie chart. Oh, that's so cute, Rose. I love it. How come I can't see Moose? Oh, wait, no, Moose isn't in here yet, but he will be. I'm actually excited to look at Moose's work. Isn't everyone, right? He always does a good job. This isn't as huge as the thing is last week with those constellations. Those things blew me out the water. But this is exactly what I asked him for this class. So for me, it's perfect for this. But yes, he did a great job as always. As always. All right, so the 12 astrological houses and what they mean. This is part 2 of a 3-part intro to astrology, okay? So if we are good to go, if everyone is ready to rock and roll and dive into the houses, just give me a thumbs up and we'll get going. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. This is a talented caribou. Very cute. All right, let's roll. Okay, houses. And what are they? So keep in mind, I try to go kind of as basic as possible because I'm that way. It's like break it down in English so I can understand it. So, houses, what are they? In astrology, houses are a fundamental component of the birth chart that represents different areas of life, okay? So, let's start right there. In astrology, houses are a fundamental component of the birth chart. Does everybody here know what a birth chart is? If you do not, let me know in the chat because I don't want to leave anybody like in the dark. Do you guys know what a birth chart is? Do you not? Go ahead and clarify. Feverishly taking notes. Good. Okay. I'll try, I'll go slower then. If you guys need me to slow down too, just let me know. Moose crashing through the wall. Yay, Moose, you made it. I'm so happy. We literally just got past like the intro slide. We're going to have a planned power outage in about 2 hours. If the stream is still going, just want to say class was fantastic. Oh, you're so sweet. The structure? That's a good way to put it. No idea. Okay. So, not a clue. Okay. Oh, thank you for my apple. You get an A+ too. Lady Autumn Sky was my first though. Okay, no. So, I'm going to do this real basic because I want everybody just to be on the same page, okay? So the very first thing we're going over is what are they? What are the houses in astrology? In astrology, houses are a fundamental component of the birth chart. Now, a birth chart is, and I'm reading from Google, just so I have it exactly correct. It's a natal chart. So pretty much it's a chart that's specific to you and when you came into this world, okay? It uses the date, the time, and the location of your birth to recreate a map a map of the sky at the moment you were born. Okay, so again, a birth chart is a natal chart. It's a map of where everything was, constellation wise, sun, moon, all of that stuff, all of it. It's a map of where everything was at when you came into this world, down to the minute, down literally to the minute. So I have my natal chart in front of me. Hold on. I do want to give you guys a quick look at an example. And you can get, if you guys want, I will drop this link. You guys can get a free birth chart with everything, like literally everything in it. It'll be just a whole bunch of pages of everything to do with your birth chart, the planets, positions, all of that. Okay, so here is, I found mine. I've had this a while, so keep that in mind. Oh, please. Let me make this smaller again. Okay, can you guys see that? Just let me know. So this is my map of my personal natal chart. This is what it looks like at the time I was born. You see all these like lines and stuff like that. That is which houses were in which sign, my sun sign, my rising, all of that, but in map form. So can everyone see it okay? See, and it even gives you the degrees. Like it gets down to like the nitty gritty of your own birth map, so to speak. So I just want to give you guys that for reference real quick, just so you know what they look like. If you do want to get yourself one, and I'll drop the link in chat later to where to get a free one. Okay. So having said that, I had mine done when I was in my 20s, but I haven't seen it in many years. This one I have is at least a couple of years old. It's got I got notes on the back of all of them and everything. Right. Get rid of me. So I will say this. Let's say you don't know your time of birth. There is an option on the website, like if you don't know your exact time of birth, that you could click on that and it'll just make assumptions for you, so to speak. So it might not be 100% accurate. Just keep that in mind. But if you do know your time of birth, that's even better. It'll be more accurate of a chart, of course. So again, the houses, what are they? In astrology, houses are a fundamental component of the birth chart, which we just talked about what that is, that represents different areas of life. The houses are simply the areas in life, not the experiences, okay? So let me say that again. The houses are simply areas of life. Let's say relationships, okay? Let's say career. Let's say death. Let's say spirituality. We're going to go over each one, okay? So the houses are the areas of life, not the experiences within them. They are just what holds the experiences, okay? So, for example, I'm going to read you just a little bit off my birth chart real quick. This is just an example, and it'll start to make sense the further we get into it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So my fourth house, okay, is in, well, the fourth house is home and family, okay? So I have Scorpio in my fourth house, and right underneath it, it says she can be very attached to the home and family. Intensity in the home environment or a strong element of privacy. Might receive an inheritance. Home life or family is close-knit and private. So that's just an example of how having a certain sign in your house might affect you. Okay, so the house is just what's holding the experiences. Get it? Hopefully that makes sense. And again, it's just an example. I'm just reading from mine. But the houses are simply the areas of life, not the experiences of them, okay? How dare you talk about our teacher like that? Clumsy would make a great professor. Oh, you're so sweet. Yay, free 99. I'm not sure where mine is. You could reprint another one easily. Hold on, I think that was nice that Jariah said that. K Braze, you dork. I'm kind of getting why they are called houses now. Thanks. Okay, good. Yay. So it's starting to kind of click a little bit. Now down here, let's talk about these two wheels. Remember, I had just kind of talked about how we looked at the wheel of the zodiac. So the wheel of the zodiac depends on the sun's yearly revolution around our Earth, okay, along the ecliptic. While the houses depend on our Earth's 24-hour pivot around its own axis. And might I add, where you land in that spectrum, depending on your exact date, time, and location of birth, okay? So the wheel of the zodiac depends on the sun's yearly revolution around our Earth along the ecliptic, while the houses depend on our Earth's 24-hour pivot around its own axis. The two wheels consolidate at special points that are determined by your birth time and birth location. Through the lens of these two wheels, the planets in your natal chart give two distinct ways of looking at your personality. First would be within a zodiac sign. Okay, that would be what's called your sun sign. Like for instance, my sun sign is a Taurus. Okay, so that would be one way to view it, just to know what your sun sign is. But the second way would be within a house. Okay, so my sun sign, you can look at it just from the zodiac sign, or and furthermore as being within a house. Okay, and we'll go over examples in a moment. But any questions so far? Hit me with them. So, well, yes, exactly. But everyone will have something unique. Um, everybody's where their house or what sign is in their house is different for every individual. Except for, you might come across another person who, like me, has Scorpio in their fourth house as well. Okay, but it is unique and individualized to you. I don't think I've ever heard of two people having the exact same birth chart. So it is very unique to you. I've heard of people coming really close, but not having the exact same one. I mean, unless you're a twin. But even then. So, and this is where you start to get, if you are into astrology, this is where you start to realize that things are so much more than surface level. And that by just looking at your sun sign, just saying, hey, I'm a Taurus, is a real kind of shallow, vague way to interpret someone's complexity. Because I could be a Taurus and a person next to me could be a Taurus, but I could be, a Taurus who has, again, in my fourth house, has Scorpio in my fourth house. So I might be a much more private person than someone who has Leo in their fourth house. Okay. So this is where you start to understand the importance of the natal chart and of the houses, etc. Interesting that you mentioned the chakras, because Vedic astrology, which is it is from India, that is the oldest astrology I believe that's out there. And chakras come from that area as well. That idea, concept of the chakras, etc. Yes, exactly. And look, we will cover that too. Cape Razy, it's divided into 30 chunks of the sky, makes up 360 degrees exactly. And we will go over those in relation to astrology as we get into each house. Okay. So if everyone's ready to move forward, give me a thumbs up and then we shall begin. Arf, arf. I'm so excited. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Exactly, Cape Racy. You got it. You got the idea. You sure do. Okay, anyone else have any questions? Or if everyone's ready to go, just give me a thumbs up like Lady Autumn has just done. Yeah, take that, flat earthers. I love it. All right. 12 houses of astrology represent every one of the aspects that make up human life. Okay, so the 12 houses of astrology represent every one of the aspects that make up human life. Okay, so you see this wheel that's divided up? We're really, really, really going to get into it. Okay, so having said that, who's ready to enter the first house. Give me another thumbs up, and we will enter the first house. If you're a note taker, this is a good point to start. You could start this one, just label it first. This will be the first house in astrology, okay? No mute? Okay, good. You guys can hear me? All right. Hello, Arya. Welcome. It's so good to see you. Arf, arf. We are just entering the first house of astrology. Okay, Maddie. Love ya. Have a good night, lovey. Thank you. All right. Everyone's ready to go? All right. Let's enter the first house of astrology. Real quick, does anyone happen to know what the first house is? If not, don't worry about it. Yay, I love it. So the first house of astrology is the self. If we're breaking it down, and I did this, I wanted a chart that was very, very simple. So you'll see in here, there's different labels, but one word meaning, or, if we want to break it down to one or two words, this would be the house of self. Okay. So the first house is the house of self. Okay. The first house of astrology relates to Aries. Okay. The position would be the first 30 degrees of the longitude, okay, of the Earth's longitude. So Aries covers the first 30 degrees. Y'all might remember that if you were in class last week. One word meaning is self. All right. Here's some extended meanings of what the first house in astrology might mean. Okay. The self motivation, outer energy and appearance. And when I say outer energy, I mean that as what you portray to others as well, or how you come across to others, the energy that you put out into the world, so to speak. Appearance, self-motivation, and the self. Okay? This is the very first house of astrology. And if you think about it, where does it start? It starts with self at your time of birth, does it not? So, any questions so far? Let me know in chat. Wheel of Fortune. Oh, yes. Oh, you are so smart. They call me Rose because this is so Wheel of Fortune. The astrological wheel and stuff from tarot. It's totally interrelated purposefully. So good observation. I think if you turn off repeat on the clip, it should stay on the last frame. Maybe I don't know. My first house, I'm sure. Oh no. Oh, it's starting to hit me. What's starting to hit you? Cool, fire beast, right? All right. Again, so the self, or the first house of astrology is the self. Okay. Um, it relates to Aries. Covers the first 30 degrees, and one word meaning is self. Some extended meaning is the self motivation, outer energy, and appearance. So, any questions on the first house in astrology? If not, just give me a thumbs up. Yes, they do, Jiraiya. I was waiting for Kay Braze to ask me this. So, Kay Braze, you had asked, why are there the 12 signs? This is kind of coincides with that. Do the houses match the order of the zodiac? Yes, they do. 1 through 12. So, astrological sign number 1 coincides with the first house in astrology of the self. Aries, the self, it all interconnects, and then it goes in the exact same order, and then we'll go to Taurus, and then it'll go on and on and on. But yes, it goes in that exact same order. So there is a total of 12 houses. Now keep in mind, Arya, you weren't here for this, but I went over what the houses exactly are, and what they are is they are the categories, of life experiences. However, they are not the actual experiences. They just house them, so to speak. Okay. So, for instance, let's say we're in the house of self. That's the house we're on right now. First house is the house of self. Okay. Now, what sign you have in your first house would be your rising sign. But let's go further. So, for example, I just read. Hold on, where did it go? Okay, so I have Scorpio in my 4th house. Okay, and the 4th house is the house of home. And so here's an example. Here's a description of me having Scorpio in my 4th house of home. Okay. She can be very attached to the home and family. Intensity in the home environment or a strong element of privacy is needed. Might receive an inheritance. Home life or family is close-knit and private. So this is an example of how whatever sign is in your house at your time of birth really matters in regards to your birth chart, your natal chart, etc. Okay. What after I said finally getting it? LOL, that's crazy. I was going to ask the same thing. Yes, they house the experiences. They represent a different experiences that we all have in life, like relationships, like I was just talking about, or home, or death, also spirituality. And you will see each house that's divided has a coordination with each sign. So there's importance to every single one of them, and they all intersect. They all interconnect with one another. And you'll see this even more when we get to that last class next week, when we bring the planets into all of this. Okay. But we're on the houses right now. So give me a thumbs up if you all are ready to go to the 2nd house in astrology. And does anyone have an idea maybe what sign might be next, or the sign is related to the next house in astrology? I'm sure you guys might know that one. All right, thumbs up. All right, whoop whoop. All right, I'm gonna try it your way, Moose. We'll see what happens. Let's see. So off we go to the 2nd house of astrology. The first house was self. Now we're going to the 2nd house. The 2nd house is value. Okay, again, real quickly. The 2nd house in astrology is value. Okay. The 2nd house in astrology relates to Taurus. Taurus gang, arf, arf, WB. The position is 30 to 60 degrees. One word meaning is value. Now, here's some extended meaning: your wants and needs, your self worth, your finances, aesthetics, and your style. This is the second house in astrology. It covers wants and needs, self worth, finances, aesthetics, and style. Do you like the little animation? You are worth more than gold. Now, so it relates to Taurus, 30 to 60 degrees is what she covers. One word meaning, again, is value, wants and needs, self worth, finances, aesthetics, and style. And Taurus is a sign of very much of what you can, like, of all the senses, what you can hear, see, taste, smell, touch. So this makes sense. Oh, I love the animations. It's not a cow, it's a bull, you brat. Get it together. I love gold. Oh, you do? Cute. Okay, so we have the first house in self, right? Now we have the second house in value, okay? And this is what we value both, I would say, internally and externally. It covers both. Just like where it says right there, wants and needs. So this comes next, right after the self. Okay? Tell me if this is starting to make sense to y'all. And Taurus is also the second sign of the zodiac, so keep that relation in mind. It's making sense. Okay, good. Yay! Gets one of these what? What do you mean? Every person does have 12 houses, if that's what you mean. And there will be different signs in each house. So for instance, my second house of worth or of value, mine's my Virgo's on my second house. So Virgo's in my second house of value. It says may worry about money. So, and that makes sense because Virgos are kind of worry words anyway. So may worry about money. But each one would be different. There'll be a different sign. You'll have a different sign in each house, so to speak. No, but you can, when we get to the planets, with the planets and stuff, yes, you can. That starts to get more complex once we add the planets in, but not for the houses. Not that I'm aware of. You might have some that are on the. Yeah, no, I don't believe so. Not that I'm aware of. Okay, we ready to go to the third house? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So, perfect. Whoop, whoop. I'm gonna try this the other way again, Moose. So let's see. I'm just curious if it does it the same way or not. Okay, so third house, here we come. All right, so we had self for the first house. For the second house, that was the house of value. Now we're on to communication. Okay, so the third house in astrology, okay, relates to Gemini. This would be the 60 to 90 degrees that it covers. One word meaning, communication, extended meaning, social media, traveling, siblings, writing, and finances. This is the third house in astrology. Relates to Gemini, position 60 to 90 degrees. One word meaning communication. Again, here's some extended meaning, social media, travel, siblings, writing, and finances. There's even some, there's such, there's even a lot more like extensive kind of meanings for the houses, like when you really break them down. For instance, like the third house, you could even add on their trade talents. And for siblings, specifically younger siblings, it can even relate to as well. And for travel, this is usually short-term travel. Not always, but a lot of times. So just throwing that at you all. So there is, keep in mind, this is a good idea, but not limited to just these things that relate to the houses and their meanings. I need to do some renovations on my first two houses for sure. Bunch of hitchhikers over here. Cool twin spin, right? Fun fact, communication comes from the root. Come on, man. After someone says something to tell me you're a dork. Okay, so let's say I have communicate. So let's say in my third house, I had a sign like Cancer. Okay, Cancer could be kind of introverted. They could be extremely private. All right. So if I had, let's say, Cancer in my third house of communication, what might that hint to? What might that say to you about this person? I'm just throwing that out there. Anyone want to give a stab at it? Go ahead. Don't worry about being right or wrong. I just want to hear some input from y'all. Oh, they're dancing. Yes, they're dancing. Okay, Jariah, good job. This is a fair assessment. This is a very fair assessment. So, if I had, like I said, a sign that could be fairly introverted or private, um, let's say I had Cancer in my third house of communication. They are reserved and don't talk too much, maybe shy. Yes, this is a very, very, very fair assessment. Pepper, welcome. Yes, hermits too. Yes, I love that reference. Very good, y'all. See, you guys are getting it. Y'all are getting it. Whether you realize it or not, you're getting it. You're getting it. Arf, arf. I like this too. Could be close to their siblings. Totally. Very, very true. Hold on. Aren't your twins Cancers, if I'm not mistaken? Are they Geminis? They're Cancers, aren't they? Or Geminis? I can't remember now, but I feel like it's one of the two. Yes, I can see this happening because Sagittarius is such a sign of like wanting is of like a teaching. They're kind of a wild card too at times. But yeah, teaching, communication, passing along wisdom. So I can see how this could happen. Maybe a little overzealous. A lady. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yes, ma'am. Second center Cancer. Okay. I knew it was one of the two. I knew it was Gemini or Cancer. I couldn't remember which one. Now we're going to move forward. So we've covered the first three houses. Okay. The first house was what? Was self. The second house was value. This third house is communication. Now we're going to move on to the fourth house. Give me a thumbs up and we shall move to the fourth house. That gift makes you feel funky. You are funky, but like not in the funky way, like funky bad in funky good way. Fusion dance. uh, okay, we got thumbs up. All right, everyone's ready to roll. Okay, so the fourth house. Here we go. All right. So the fourth house in astrology covers the home. There is no place like home. All right. So, and just as we were talking about in order, so the fourth house in astrology relates to Cancer. Cancer, which covers the first 90 to 120 degrees. One word meaning, home. Some extended meaning, your private life, your inner self, your spouse's career, believe it or not, and your home life. Okay. So again, relates to the sign of Cancer. That covers the first 90 to 100 degrees or to 120 degrees of the wheel. One word meaning is home. Extended meaning, your private life, your inner self, your spouse's career, and home life. It also relates to how you decorate your own home too, believe it or not. So, any questions here about the fourth house in astrology? You have Aries in your fourth house. Okay. I wonder if you wear the pants in the home, if you're like the what everyone kind of like takes direction from. Yeah, I am a funky moose. Aww. And your dad was a Cancer? Oh, Cancer's a good sign. Interesting as a crab wears his home on his back. True. Called molting? What the heck is molting? Yes, I could. Yes, 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 yes. I could definitely see that. Totally. All right. So, everyone ready for the fifth house? Give me a thumbs up and we shall move on to the fifth house. So, again, so far we've covered self, value, communication, now the home, home, now the home. All right, fifth house, here we come. All right, the fifth house in astrology, pleasures. Also creativity and a few other things. We'll get there. Pleasure. Now, The fifth house relates to the sign of Leo. Covers the position of of 120 to 150 degrees of the wheel. Okay. One word meaning is pleasures. Extended meaning: your passions, creativity, your talents, and casual relationships. Now, when I say casual relationships, I mean two different things, but both are true. Okay, it means like just your casual relationships in general, but it can also mean casual sexual relationships as well. Okay, because this is a very outwardly part of the house, or part of the houses in astrology. This is very much kind of outward energy too, similar to kind of how the first house has Aries. It can be very outwardly, but this is more your passions, your creativity, your talents, but it's more displayed, I guess you would say, than perhaps not displayed. Whereas home is more more private. And I heard in astrology once when they were talking about the planets, and because Leo is connected to the sun and Cancer is connected to the moon. Someone had told me, think of the moon as your mom and the sun as your dad. So the sun is like very outwardly. This is how you interact with people on a day-to-day basis, like at work, within friend groups, etc. Where mom is more private. She's at home. It's kind of an old school way to look at it, but it's always stuck in my head. Think of the moon as your mom and the sun as your dad. So, anywho, any questions about the fifth house in astrology? Yes, they do. They do, Aria. Um, and were you in here when I was showing the map of mine, like my celestial map or my natal map? Everybody's is all over the place. I agree with you there. I'm not sure if she's seen it or not. I had my chart done once, but it was literally 30 years ago, and I don't have it anymore. You know what I'm going to do? If y'all want, I'm going to be dropping. Should I wait more towards the end to drop that link? Yeah, I'll wait more towards the end. But I am going to be dropping the link for a place to get it where you can print it out for free, okay? And so the thing is, with your natal chart, if you know your time of birth and your location, just know that that's going to give you a more accurate reading. However, from this site I will send you to, or that I'll link once once we're almost done, there is an option to click on it if you don't know your time of birth. So just wanted to put that out there. Members only chart stream. Good idea. Did I miss the members stream? No, you did not. That's next weekend, Lovey. But nope, you sure didn't. All right. Any questions on the fifth house? The fifth house. Gosh, I got a lisp all of a sudden. Words are hard. The fifth house in astrology. Are we ready to move on to the sixth? So I'm going to read y'all from my fifth house real quick. Okay, so again, the fifth house is pleasure, your creativity, your talents, your casual relationships. It can also represent where you're self-expressive, okay? Where you enjoy entertainment, etc. So mine, I have Sagittarius in my fifth house, which is pretty fun, right? So she's attracted to adventure, travel, gambling, taking some risks for the pleasure of it, treating life as so many love affairs possible. So, and keep in mind, this is this is just me reading from the chart. This isn't me assessing my own. But these are just some examples of how to interpret certain signs in your houses, all right? Oh, how cute. Yes, Bellamy, it's so much fun. We're having a good time, I think. I hope everyone else is. All my houses are filled with Squidward, I'm sure. All right, on to the sixth house. So, what have we covered so far? First house was self. Second was value. Third was communication, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Fourth was home. And the fifth right here is pleasure. So, we're moving on to the sixth house. Okay. So, we're halfway through, yo. All right. So health is up next. The sixth house in astrology is related to health. Okay. Also relates to the zodiac sign of Virgo. The position of that of Virgo covers 150 to 180 degrees. One word meaning is health. Here's extended meaning. It also covers your daily routines, your enemies, your work life, health, organization, and your habits. So there's quite a bit that Virgo actually, or not Virgo, that the sixth house kind of holds within this kind of slice of the pie or what have you. So again, the sixth house covers health, daily routines, your enemies, your work life, organization, and your habits. And then I'll read you for mine. I have Capricorn, which is kind of, a can be kind of a really strict sign in some ways. They're very determined, Capricorns. Um, so I have Capricorn in my sixth house, okay, of health and work life, organization, daily routines. It says can work hard, unceasingly and patiently. A weak point though, the cold and changes in temperature, meaning you could run hot to cold, I guess, at times. Any questions on the sixth house? That sounds like a tarot question. Say that one for tonight. Yes, yes, yes. You got it. Whoop, whoop. All right. Are we ready to move on to the seventh house in astrology? Just give me a thumbs up. All right, all right, all right. The escapers, eh? Okay, here we go. This is a good one. This is a very good one. All right. So the seventh house in astrology covers your relationships, y'all. Look how cute this is. This sticker gift thing. I want this thing. Like, it's so cute. I want it as an emoji. Okay. Anyway, sorry, distracted. Okay, so the seventh house in astrology relates to the sign of Libra. Okay, the scales. She's holding the scales right here. Position is 180 to 210 degrees. One word meaning: relationships. Extended meaning: your long-term relationships, your partnerships, and who your partners may be. For example, if I have, so let's see mine. What is this? Relationships. I have Aquarius in my house of relationships. So that could hint to maybe having a possible Aquarius as one of my long-term partners in life. Okay. Doesn't mean it has to be. And I'm sure that a lot of people have more than one, maybe long-term partner, or maybe have none. I don't know. But I'm just saying this is a good hint if you're wondering whom may be in your house in regards to relationships. Okay. But again, it's not limited to just that sign, but just want to throw that out there. So again, seventh house in astrology relates to relationships, your long-term relationships, your partnerships, and who your partners may be. Hey, why did my thing turn off? Hold please. My headphone turned off. Oh no, that's Libre. So this is going to get more interconnected. I'm just going to give you guys a hint, like just to give you like a um little taste for next week. So Libra is actually the planet that rules Libra is Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and beauty. So we shouldn't be too surprised that the seventh house in astrology houses our long-term relationships, our partnerships, etc. Venus also is ruled by, or Venus also rules over Taurus as well. It has two planets. There's only two planets that govern two signs. That is Venus, and that is also Mercury. Those are the only two planets that hold two signs or govern two signs. I mean, just FYI. But we're not into the planets yet, but just throwing that out there. I feel like we're building a little no Frankenstein, but each house adds extra depth. It sure does. It sure does. And as you go further into, say, like your personal birth chart, so I have Aquarius in my seventh house of relationships. Okay. Um, Says relationship between partners will be very friendly and full of understanding. Both will love their independence and their freedom of action, but are still very passionate for one another. Okay. So as you go further into the houses in astrology, further as we go next week into the planets as well, things will really start to kind of intersect and interwove with one another. All right. So are we ready for the eighth house? So we just covered relationships. What do y'all think is next after relationships? You guys probably, I don't know if y'all will be able to guess what this house, this house of astrology covers. All right, we're ready to roll. So Eight's my favorite number, by the way. Everyone probably knows that by now. All right. The eighth house in astrology represents death. Okay. Also, we'll talk about this too in a moment. Now, the eighth house in astrology relates to Scorpio. And Scorpio in the tarot, if y'all remember, is represented by what card in the tarot? Is represented by the card of death. So it's very fitting that the eighth house in astrology also relates to Scorpio, but one word meaning is death. Now let's get to some extended meaning. Endings, transformation, sex and intimacy. This is very much where sex and intimacy lies, right here in the sign right here, right? Inheritance and death itself, literal death, but also figuratively is it's both. Okay. So don't die, don't die. Moose, you cheated though. Oh, divorce, close enough. I wouldn't have guessed that. Wow, we skipped a few here. Close enough, Cape Racy. Oh, you guys are who? Okay. It's kind of is it not to also kind of I didn't cheat, I studied. Good job. Okay, you studied. Nice. I take it back then. So, eighth house we know covers endings, transformation, sex and intimacy, inheritance, and death. So let's say I have um let's say I have Sagittarius, which just so happens to be a fairly lucky sign traditionally. Okay, it probably is considered the lucky sign if there was one. Um, let's say I have Sagittarius in my eighth house. What might that hint to? Go ahead and type it in the chat. Don't worry about wrong or right. Just how you might interpret that. Moose being the teacher's pet. Moose rubbing his reading things and remembering things in our faces. Boo! Oh, oh, you guys are killing me. Okay, I forgot to study my dog and my homework. That's okay, but I just want to know if anyone might want to take a stab at it. You make good choices when it comes to change. That could, you know, I actually could see that as well. So that's fair. What I would say though is in regards to what I would think or how I would kind of relate these two or interpret from here. If I had a sign like if I had Sagittarius, which is considered the luckiest sign in the zodiac, in my eighth house, which also covers inheritance, I would say someone might run into inheritance in their lifetime. There would be a much higher probability of it than if another sign was in that house in specific. So keep that in mind. Foresight. Yes, actually. That's good too. I love this. Y'all. All right. So ready for the ninth house? Give me a thumbs up. We're going to go number nine, number nine, number nine. Look how cute this scorpion is. He's so shiny. I don't like Scorpion, so we're good to go. All right. So off we go to the 9th house. All right. The 9th house in astrology, spirituality. The 9th house in astrology relates to the sign of Sagittarius. I love Saggies. That's my moon sign is in Sagittarius. And I'm a firm believer your moon sign reveals more to you than your sun or your rising sign. That's just my opinion though. Okay, so it relates to Sagittarius. This covers the 240 to 270 degrees in the wheel. One word meaning is spirituality, okay? Some extended meaning, religion / spirituality, teachings, learning, wisdom, and our mentors, okay? Also, fun fact, this house represents your relationship with your father. So, another little tidbit for you. Arf, arf. So again, 9th house in astrology relates to Sagittarius. One word meaning, spirituality. Some extended meaning is religion, spirituality, teachings, learning, wisdom, and mentors. And I have Aries in my 9th house. Interesting. Okay, any questions about the 9th house? Disco Scorpion. It reminds me of the song I Stand Alone when he gets stung on his bike. I've never seen that, I don't think. Clumsy, generally the center was a font of wisdom. So inheritance makes sense as a person had a good teacher / parents that leaves them with a good fortune. Knowledge, money, or just a good temperament. Nice. I like that. Very nice. That's awesome. I love it. Totally feel like the tarot is aging as it goes on. Messages are more deep the further you go in, right? You really start to see such an interplay on all of it, right? It's so connected, so very much so. So. That's a lot of so's. Everyone ready to move on to the 10th house? Any guess on what comes after spirituality, y'all? Any guesses? Go ahead, type them in. Hold on, what does come next? I'm trying to remember. I know which sign. Hold on, which one is it? Okay. Yeah, any guesses on which one, what the 10th house is going to be? The 10th house in astrology. Good guess. Party time. We're getting there. We're close to the end. All right. So the 10th house is career. So the 10th house relates to Capricorn, which covers 270 to 300 degrees of the wheel. One word meaning is career. Extended meaning, though, career, fame, reputation, and worth ethics. So, and Capricorn, another thing we will be getting into, is also ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is like, that's where you look to see what's going on in Saturn, kind of in your chart, because Saturn's where it's like, it's intense energy, like kind of, I would never say bad, but I mean, it's where you may struggle for sure. And Capricorns can be quite perfectionists in many ways. So it makes sense. Again, the 10th house in astrology is career, extended meaning career, fame, reputation, and your worth, or your work ethics. Work ethics. So let's say I had a sign like, let's see, who's like a really carefree sign? Pisces, very creative, very carefree. Not, I would also say they're also highly worrisome people too, in some sense, but very creative, very, very creative sign, right? So let's say I have Pisces in my 10th house in astrology. What might that hint to? About the person that I'm reading their chart. What might that say to you if Pisces is in the 10th house of career? It might even hint to what type of job they might have. Intuitive, daring. What I actually think neither one. Oh wait, I misunderstood. That's okay. I would say though, I wouldn't really say that either one of those is wrong. To be honest, Lady Autumn and Moose, neither one of those is really a bad answer at all. What I would say is if we have Pisces and the 10th house of career, fame, reputation, this might be someone who has either maybe many different areas of interest as far as career goes, or jobs or something affiliated, or that they're very interested in creating in general when it comes to their career. And they might also have issues with being tied down to one job. Doesn't always necessarily mean it has to be that way, but it could. Okay. So those are just some of the things that could hint to something like that. If we had Pisces in the 10th house, in your 10th house, in your natal chart. Okay. How dare you? You're good, lovey. They're swimming upstream, but want to chill downstream, right? Yes. Okay, so y'all ready for the 11th house? We're almost done. Whoop, whoop. Guesses on the 11th house in astrology. All right, the 11th house in astrology. Community. So, the 11th house in astrology relates to Aquarius. This covers 300 to 330 degrees in the wheel. One word meaning, community. Extended meanings, your friend or friends, your soul tribe, quote unquote soul tribe, meaning people you feel connected to on like a soul level. Okay, so you might consider us like a soul family, right? Or part of being the same soul tribe, someone that group that you have a kind of deeper connection with, so to speak, or a more elevated connection, however you would like to phrase it. Also, money, career, and advocacy. Advocacy is a big one for this 11th house, just FYI. Also, the 11th house would cover your older siblings. Also covers, I'm looking at my little notes, your future plans and how you make your money. So, again, the 11th house in astrology relates to Aquarius, community, deeper meanings, your soul tribe, money, career, advocacy, your friends. Libby, good to see you. Arf, arf. Thanks for being a lovey, Libby. So good to see you. All right. Really, Moose? Okay. So last but not least, y'all, what's going to be the last thing in this in the houses, in this wheel that we're covering? Any guesses what the 12th house is in astrology? Any guesses at all? Any guesses? Rabbit, welcome. Arf, arf. So good to see you. Big hugs. I love you, lady. Cabreze, did you Google it? I can't believe Cabreze got that. Did I say it already? Cabreze, I'm so impressed. Good job. So yes, indeed. The 12th house in astrology relates to Pisces. A position is 330 to 360 degrees on the wheel. So that's the last 30 degrees. One word meaning is secrets. Okay. Extended meanings, endings, psychic abilities, your sleep and or your subconscious, hidden enemies, and seclusion, where you feel secluded. How many of y'all love the GIF I put on here for the secrets? Oh yeah, it does. You're right. Dang it. Dang it, Tech. I thought you just guessed it. I was all excited. It's koi fish. Moose. You got it wrong when you said catfish. It's a koi fish. Get it together, would you? Just kidding. Okay, so the 12th, the last meet. Oh, I'm a Taurus too, Libby. Arf, arf. So the 12th house in astrology relates to Pisces. It covers the last 330 to 360 degrees of the wheel. One word meaning is secrets, okay? Also relates to our extended meanings, endings, psychic abilities, your sleep, subconscious, hidden enemies, and where you feel secluded or seclusion. So, any questions about the 12th house? No, that is so. I guess you guys don't have any questions about. That's fine. So guess what? That is the end of all 12 houses in astrology. Now, real quick, what I am going to do though is, so I don't forget, I'm going to grab the link to the site I told y'all where you can print a natal, your birth chart pretty much. You can print it for free. Keep in mind, it is better if you know your exact time of birth. If you don't, though, there is a little option, like a little box, where you can go to click on it, and it'll still give you a projection of your chart. So hold please while I go get that. Passing through to hit the light clumsy. After you click from the beginning. Yes, Rabbit. So good to see you, love. Big hug. Oh, good luck to your dad too, Jariah. Lots of symbology. Also, on the note of psychic abilities, the eighth house has a has some extended meaning with its meanings because eighth house is death, but it also connects to mediumship as well. So that's another house that has some. I'd say those two houses are the ones that have, and maybe the ninth house as well of spirituality, but pertain to ability, spirituality, etc. All right, so give me a second, y'all. Okay, I'm going to find that that website and drop the link in the chat. While I do that, I'll let you guys, especially if you're new here, here is a look at the constellation video that Moose put together. That's so fantastic and amazing. This was from last week's class on the 12 zodiac signs. You guys can take a view at this real quick while I drop that link. So hold please. All right, so real quick, will someone check that link for me and let me know if it works okay? But I literally gave you the exact same one I got mine from. So if someone could check it and just let me know. Yay! Woohoo! So guys, that's literally where I printed mine from. So if you want a free birth chart, that is where I'm sending you. Go there. You can print it and you get to nickname it too. So it'll like save it if you want that. And a really like kind of trendy thing I noticed going on with us woo-woos within the woo-woo folks is there's this big like new trend of getting your natal chart printed like on like in a huge frame with like with your constellations lit up and connected. Like they make beautiful pieces of art. I gotta be honest. I really want one. I really want one. But yeah, that's a new trend that's going on. Is getting your natal chart kind of artized in photography or in some type of way like that. But it's really neat. It works. Yep. Yay. Woohoo. Rabbit. Sounds cool. Yes. So go get your free birth chart there. And if you have questions about it, feel free to ask me. Just no, I don't have all the answers, but I have been just getting some real like conceptual stuff down in regards to astrology. It's not like how my knowledge in tarot is. So just FYI. But okay, so that was fantastic. Next weekend is going to be the planets. It'll be the last class, okay? So we did decided to do a 3-parter for this. First part was the 12 signs of the zodiac. Today we covered the 12 houses. And next weekend, we're going to cover the planets in astrology. So make sure you have your notifications on. Please make sure you like this video. Also, if you do want to become a lovey, that link is pinned to the top of chat. There is going to be a members only live coming up next weekend as well. There's a lot coming up this next weekend. But yeah, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. I would appreciate it very, very much. And I think that's it for now. I'm so ridiculously need to know all of these signs are now. Right? Appreciate the link, Clumsy. Oh, you're very welcome. I decided to check it out. When is our next class? And do we have homework? Homework would be maybe to watch the replay. So Pepper, let's say you weren't here for the last class. I did make a playlist. If you go to my channel, you'll see it. It just says astrology or astrology classes, something like that. I forgot what I named it. But you'll see the first class that we had last week on the 12 zodiac signs. You can watch the replay on that. And if you missed any of this class today, maybe watch some of the replay on that. But that would be it for now. Until next weekend where we go over the planets. Whoop, whoop. And print your chart. Print your chart. That's your homework. This was so much fun, and I'm invested. Nice. Arf, arf. I'm so excited. Thanks for all the great info. Very interesting. Looking forward to the next time. I have my reminder set. Whoop, whoop. So, and everybody, and Pepper too. I go live every night. Just an FYI. So I will see everybody tonight for the live. I stream at ungodly hours though, so keep that in mind. That's why sometimes I don't see a small group of y'all. But yes, so I will be live later tonight, and I will see you guys then. And thank you. And the last class for the planets will be next weekend.